My opinions about Iran.
Yeah, your opinions about Iran. What do you think about it? Is it good?
They're an awful government right next to another awful government.
That's controversial. So you are pro-bombing every single part of it?
Absolutely fucking not.
What? Well, that's a contradictory statement, Aaron. Anyway, welcome to a Monstrous Mythtakes?
Yeah.
Or perhaps we'll call it
non-standard Monstrous Mythtakes.
A non-standard Monstrous Mythtakes. This is one where we actually already have a monster. We know what it looks like, and we are going to talk about it.
Do we want to talk about how we ended up with it?
We're going to talk about...
We've got to learn some lessons.
We're going to learn some lessons. I'm going to learn some lessons. This one's on me. Shall I explain what happened?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And believe me, I would have made the same ones, I suspect.
Quite possible. Maybe. We'll see. So in our great quest to get great art for our great work, I have put out the call on Bluesky, and also I went to places like DeviantArt, but also Fiverr, and all different kinds of sites where artists ply their trade, like merchants. And in my head, the way that this kind of works is I would just give some ideas to some artists, and they would tell me how much that would cost me, and I would say, no, thank you, that's a lot of money, because we're not making any money on this podcast. We are, in fact, I am, in fact, burning quite a lot of money.
And I'm burning a small amount of money. Yeah.
We're both burning some amount of money for this creative endeavor, but it's something we're passionate about and we like, and certainly it's partly the reason why I want to get other people doing art other than myself or my son, who I also do compensate financially for his art, is that I believe in art. I believe in non-AI art. I believe in compensating artists for their time. So I found an artist on Fiverr, actually, who was very responsive, called Maria Chan. Now, I don't know whether Maria Chan is a real person, because this artist has now disappeared off Fiverr, and all trace of this artist has also disappeared. The particular piece of art that I wanted Maria to do for me is the greater trench eagle. Yes. Which is a monster that we defined in one of our previous Monstrous Mythtakes. It's a huge hippo-sized eagle-headed monster.
It's sort of like half mole, but it's also got Patagia wing-like things on the sides.
It's got Patagia.
Flew through the earth. Yes.
Yeah. So I...
Oh, sorry, no, important. It's rippling Patagia.
Rippling Patagia.
Yes.
That's right, yes, our rippling Patagia. So I provided Maria with a description of this monster, as well as a quick sketch of the kind of like pose I'd like it in. And what came out of it was a sketch that I thought was really great. It didn't quite capture what I wanted. And of course, there's only a limited amount of editing that I think is reasonable. I'm working with an artist right now who's been so kind and has said, oh, you can just tell me to redraw this 1,000,000 times. It's fine. Wow. Which is not... I won't do that, partially because I think that their time could be better used for something else. But there's sort of with Fiverr specifically, there's a certain amount of edits essentially that you can request, and that's right. And the revisions I had were about 4 revisions. After 4 revisions, we came to a pretty good picture.
Yeah.
Not a picture of the trench eagle,
no,
but still a pretty good picture.
Love it.
I quite enjoy this piece of art, and I remember I texted Aaron, and I said, "Hey, I did an oopsie, I think," and we got a picture. It's not of the trench eagle, though. It's supposed to be the trench eagle, but it's not. So I think when we talk about the creative process and when we talk about this whole endeavor as a collaborative endeavor, one of the things that I have to, I think, learn to get better at is negotiating what is in my head or what's in our vision with other people. And I think that's something that's a separate skill from what we already do here. It's not something that I've ever actually had to do. So I'm happy with this picture. But so that's why we have this episode. We're going to have a look at the picture. I'm going to release this picture with the episode. I'm probably going to put it up on this recording on YouTube as well, so that we can have a look at it. Yep, it could be. Yep, that could be it. And then we're going to make a monster out of that. I think we're going to look at it and see what can we do with it.
Because the art is too pretty to let it go to waste.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the Greater Trench Eagle will just have to remain in the realm of imagination for now.
Yeah. I'm also looking at some artists, but we will see what happens.
Brilliant.
So we've got our image, and my first thinking is it does still have plenty of eagle-like characteristics around it.
It can be an eagle.
Yeah, we've already got lake eagles, we've got sewer eagles, we've got greater trench eagles, and lesser trench eagles are sort of vaguely mentioned in passing. I think this needs to be another one of our strange eagle monsters that populate the world of Domarin, well, the continent of Domarin.
I had a name in my head.
Interesting.
That I've had around for a couple weeks, and it's something that just came to me a couple weeks ago, and
separate to the image or with the image?
With the image, right, with the image. Very but cool. I don't know if it works. Well, it does have the word eagle in it.
Yeah, throw it out.
Eagle-Headed Swamp Basilisk.
All right.
Did you have something in mind?
I did not. I've looked at the image, but I've sort of deliberately just let things percolate. I wanted to come in and kind of empty and ready for as an empty vessel, ready to be filled up with creativity ideas.
That's disgusting.
That's fair. Now, I like where you're going with that, except that because we've got lake eagles and swamp eagles and trench eagles, I kind of want to keep eagle-headed makes it sound like it's not actually of the same broad species. So
maybe that's a cool twist.
Like it's not actually related. It just appears
like it's actually not related. No, it's like how a banana is actually a berry.
Yeah, yes, and there's plenty of animals with like the
red panda.
Yes, exactly. Or
not
even koala bear. They've got these names, even though they're not remotely sort of the same genus. So actually, no, I love that idea now. I'm convinced. So
I did it.
Eagle-headed.
So now that I've done the heavy lifting, I'm going to have a little nap and leave it to you.
Let me do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the name itself gives us a lot of grist to start with. So it's a swamp basilisk, so we know it's biome. We know where it's commonly found, the swamp.
The swamp, yeah.
Yes. Presumably, possibly also fens and marshes. Although I know there is a difference between saltwater
wetlands,
wetland,
Mawson Lakes,
which is a suburb down here in Adelaide.
Yeah, it was built on a swamp, from what I've heard.
Only with a little bit of basic terraforming, it's now sort of only swampish.
I have heard that it has more sex workers than you would expect. But that statement was told to me by someone, and then I thought about it, and I was like, I don't know what number I expected.
You just say some things until the internet is back.
Did the internet die?
Yeah, it did for a moment there, but I've got you back.
Oh no! Did you hear my funny statement?
No, I literally cut out at the punchline. You're like, I hear Mawson Lakes is, and then
that's really good.
The joke that killed
I'm going to say it again, which I know makes things even funnier.
Mm-hmm.
But someone told me that Mawson Lakes has more sex workers than you would expect, which surprised me, because then I thought about it and I thought I don't know what number I expected.
No,
so I don't know what more than that is.
I don't have an expectation. So,
I suppose some would be my expectation.
Yeah.
So I suppose the thing that would surprise me would be to find out that all people who live in Mawson Lakes are sex workers.
Is it sort of like just lots or all? Then it's one of those two options, really.
Even the cafeteria ladies at the university?
Well, I mean, they're Could be.
They
Anyway,
could be.
let's move back to our swamp basilisk, our
Let's fuck
eagle-headed
this
swamp
basilisk.
basilisk. Right. Well, looking at it, so we've got a big. For those of you who are only listening to us, let's do a bit quick description of the animal for those who are simply listening to the podcast. So it's a bipedal sort of avian in general shape. It has, your sort of avian legs, only the pounces and talons are dramatic. It's got a eagle-like head, although within the beak we've got a full-on set of fangs. The skin of the torso is sort of knobbly and bumpy. It's got that ridge section on the legs, like a lot of bird legs have, but then it sort of moves into sort of I don't know about you, it looks sort of leathery and vaguely tumorous.
Yeah, like a pockmarked, almost cancerous growths.
Yeah, definitely something sort of falloutish. And then, interestingly, the wings are, so there's no feathers on this bird-like avian thing. The wings are bat-like, including a rather long sort of digit claw at the crest of it. And they're lightly furred, as is the sort of the throat, the top of the head, and its tail is. I can't tell whether it's fur or actually maybe it is more like, now looking at it, maybe it's more like the feathers on an ostrich.
Yeah, I think it's more like the feathers on an ostrich. So one of the things that in the edits that I was trying to do is one of the edited images made it look very naked. And I wanted it to have at least at least a little bit of a feathery something feathery about it, right? Like something that would give it a more explicitly avian look. But this was not it. This does make it look like one of those missing links in like going from dinosaur to bird.
Yeah, or a magic user sort of description, trying to find a balancing point and regressing, hybridizing and chimering creatures together.
Yes.
So I don't know why I said ostrich. I'm Australian. I should say emu, shouldn't I? But with a similar feather style.
Yeah.
All right.
But it does look more dangerous even than an emu.
Yes, which is genuinely saying something, given that the only thing that really look more dangerous than an emu is a cassowary.
I will say I really appreciate and like how muscular its legs are, because I feel like its legs are muscular in a way that like a T-Rex's legs would be muscular. Yeah.
All right. So that's our description for our listeners. Is this a natural creature, Chris? Is this something that's just weird that lives in Helicon, or is it? I suppose we haven't really decided whether the swamp eagles and lake. This isn't related, so it's unimportant.
Well, it's not related, but see, I always thought that the different types of eagles that we have were just they all had a fairly recent common ancestor, and where they split into various subspecies could have been natural or not natural. It could have been both, even, right? Like,
like there was the cataclysm that ended the Concordate, which is technically sort of, there's definitely lots of magic involved in that, but that's also a natural part of this world. So the fact that animals reacted to that with some speciation is both magical and natural.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this could be a natural creature, but then it's got those cancerous spots, and you mentioned something fallouty.
Yes.
So like a fallouty look to it. So perhaps a version of it was natural, but it has mutated.
What if there is a much more harmless natural version, and this is an altered appearance, and one of the things that is made it more vicious in appearance and vicious in scary is the fact that it's got an eagle head. So there is simply the lesser or natural swamp basilisk.
So maybe there is just a swamp basilisk. Perhaps it's just a smaller creature that's relatively harmless. And perhaps the eagle-headed swamp basilisk is something that was altered by a mad wizard, or perhaps the after effects of a spell.
Yeah,
leaking into a swamp.
What if it's actually one of the things they threw a bunch of the gnomes from the gnome plague into a swamp? And because we sort of, one of the things that we established was that causes strange effects in the environment, is that a number of the swamp basilisks have altered and twisted and become eagle-headed swamp basilisks.
Yeah. Wait, is this where they were buried?
Well, I mean, the gnome plague was Delmarin wide, so there would just be one of the locations there's a mass grave. So
this would be one of the famous gnome mass graves,
yes,
where things go strange on top of it. Yeah. So somewhere in Delmarin, I'd say probably somewhere fairly close to Heliacon.
Agreed.
They put the gnome bodies into the swamp.
There was I've got the notes open somewhere here. Where the frog folk live.
The Western Woods? No, the Western Bloodwoods. The Frog Country.
Yeah, the Frog Country is.
I think it's in the Bloodwoods, also known as the
Frog Country. Yes. Well, I just say that perhaps adjacent to the Frog Country, which I always imagined was fairly sort of damp and whatnot, that there is a a swamp-like area that is where a lot of there's a mass grave of gnome plague gnomes.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they put them there because they don't care about the bodies, and it seemed like a good place, fairly far away from the city. Then eventually, after some years, this thing came out.
Yeah.
Or this type of thing. Would you say they breed true? Like, would you say they actually can produce offspring?
Yes, I think that makes it. I think that makes them more scary. That this is now a existing species.
Yeah, this is now a problem that you have to deal with.
Yeah, and they're spreading.
So it's okay. What makes it a basilisk, except the fact that it looks like a basilisk? Does it do the turning you to stone thing?
I want to say yes. Our image has some real.
Do Western basilisks do that, or is that just a Polish thing?
No. That's absolutely that's what makes a basilisk. Even if it's the
Oh, you're breaking up there, buddy.
It's a bit more cockatrice to me than basilisk, honestly.
Hold on. All I'm hearing is a robot voice.
Oh dear. No, that was just me being a robot. Am I still a robot?
No. Now you're okay.
Okay, beautiful. Then I will not talk like a robot again. So,
brilliant.
Now, you said basilisk. I think it actually looks more like a cockatrice.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, cockatrice.
I don't like, but there are plenty of avian-esque basilisks in myth, and I'm actually fine with because traditional D&D basilisks are lizards. I like the idea that in Delmarin and Heliacon that basilisks are more just this other type of basilisk. The thing, because I think isn't the idea for one of the histories of basilisks, which is also one of the histories for cockatrices, is the chicken egg raised in a snake nest.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. What if it's got petrifying venom?
What? Can you say that again?
Petrifying venom, because it's got the
because there is stuff coming out of it, right?
Yeah.
So if it, do you think it would like spit it at people like that little dinosaur from Jurassic Park?
The Dilophosaurus.
That's the one.
Yeah. I used to be so good with dinosaur names. I was actually pretty pleased with myself. I remember Dilophosaurus.
That's pretty awesome. I used to also know every dinosaur name, but I'm an adult man, now I just don't have the mental capacity to remember dinosaur names. And this actually makes me very sad
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is one still in there? Do you have a favorite dinosaur name? Not dinosaur, just a favorite dinosaur name that you still remember.
Yeah, but it's really stupid. I really like the Utah raptor.
Oh, right, fair enough. I like.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Why I like it? Because I think it's just kind of, it sounds dumb that a dinosaur comes from Utah and they called it a Utah raptor. That's the only reason.
I like the Pachycephalosaurus. I don't know. It's just fun to say.
It's fun. Yeah.
The bald head and does headbutt things with crowns and stuff.
Oh, those ones. Yeah. Those are so cool.
Yeah, totally.
Dinosaurs real?
Yes.
The Bible doesn't mention them, so it's very confusing to me. A poll.
Right. Well, maybe look for dinosaur knowledge in dinosaur books instead of the Bible. Anyway, so we've got a petrifying spittle. So is it I was thinking it was biting and petrifying, but I do like the idea that it's spitting it at you. Now,
I think spitting makes it more dangerous as well, because if you see, like, this looks like quite a large creature, right? Like, if this thing bites you, it doesn't need to petrify you. Yeah, like, it could just tear you to shreds, right?
Yeah, you're already pretty boned at that point. All right. Now, with the petrification, is this a permanent petrification? Is this a creature that eats animals and humans and humanoids turn to stone, or is it petrification more in a thin shell? Is it a temporary thing?
I actually I quite like the idea that it's not just, it doesn't just paralyze you, but it does, I think, like, really harden just the outside of your body.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like when it eats you, it cracks you like an egg.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely horrifying. And so, unlike your traditional, like, completely turned to stone petrification, you're still aware in there. You've just got this hard and this thing chomping on you, and yes.
Like in the very cool anime Dr. Stone.
I don't know that one, but
everyone turns to stone, and everyone's still, well, I think most people are still, like, aware inside the stone shells. And then several thousand years later, and the smartest kid in the world, Dr. Stone, has stayed sane and calculated how long it's been, because he's just been saying numbers in his head, which is the smartest thing a genius can do. And then he rebuilds society. It's actually really cool.
It sounds completely bonkers, but some of the best animes.
It's very bonkers. So. And it's got some of the worst character art that I think I've ever seen, ever. But it is quite a compelling, it's quite a compelling story that I, a 40-something-year-old man, enjoy. Anyway, but coming back to it, I think they should be aware in there. Which also, like, leaves the possibility of, if it does it to several people, it could keep some of them for later, which could mean that our PCs could go and rescue them.
Yes. And I like that idea that it makes larders of frozen people, and you can survive, for days like that without maybe even
like
longer.
The big Yeti on Hoth.
Yeah. I'm maybe thinking even longer, like it slows down your metabolic system so you can last for weeks without dehydrating.
Yeah.
And there's something within the gullet of the eagle-headed swamp basilisk, or perhaps even in normal swamp basilisks, that dissolves the petrification shell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. So you could get people out of that state. Yeah.
But to do that, you
I also
go on.
I also really like the idea of this could have, like, mad scientist, mad wizard applications where I think, like, a mage could try and use this to actually to extract that venom from it, to be able to, like, alter it and inject it into someone and actually make them stronger, give them, like, a more natural armor. I think that's something that could be expanded, probably in game, not by us right now, but I don't know.
My first thought there is that it's something that you've got to alter it in a certain way with some sort of magical alchemy. But then when you use it, you get tougher and like physically like tougher, but you can still move. But if you use it too much, it begins to like petrify you completely from the inside. But you don't die, and you become sort of like rock monster thing. I don't know.
Rock monster. Like the Thing from the Fantastic Four, another cool reference.
I was thinking more like Rock Lobster, the 60s song, 70s song.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Cool. So we've got it sort of like origin, where it lives, how it hunts, how it's likely to be a threat to the players. We've got a reason to go after it, to rescue people.
Yep.
But even then, it's like, I reckon you can, even if you manage to avoid getting petrified, if you kill yourself a swamp basilisk, then you can gut it and be able to take the anti-petrification enzyme, whatever you want to call it. That's something that people would pay to have on hand, because my buddy went out there and I managed to escape, but he's left petrified. Hopefully he's not, cracked open yet. I'm going to purchase somebody else's thing and go and rescue him. Yeah.
I like it, man. Right. I think this is a good monster.
I think so. There's really only one question left, and that is, can it actually fly?
Let's have a look at this picture again.
Oh,
I think it looks too muscular. Birds have hollow bones.
Of Australian internet.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I can indeed.
It looks too muscular. Yes. I would say that if it ran fast enough and flapped those wings enough, that could help it like maneuver, possibly. It could be like blindingly fast.
My thought was, because we're putting it in a swamp or wetland, fen, marsh, what have you, in that because it is relatively heavy and it doesn't have those sort of webbing on its feet to make room for the horrible grasping claws and talons and pounces, whatever, that it has evolved. It uses its wings simply to lighten itself enough so that it doesn't sink into the mud and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's what allows it to run so quickly. So yes, it's got zero flight capacity, but it's able to move over difficult terrain, essentially. With no penalty.
Yeah. Works for me.
All right. Well, I think we've turned a mythtake into something that's really cool.
Yeah. And we have an image for it. We have a picture for it. We can, which is really good. I really like it.
What was the name of the artist again? Maria.
Sorry?
What was the name of the artist again? Maria.
Maria Chan. Thank you, Maria Chan.
Yes, thank you, Maria Chan.
If you're out there, and if you're not actually a hallucination of the increasingly schizophrenic internet,
but we appreciate it.
Look, man. This process, I find it really interesting. I think I'm learning quite a lot, especially about what my expectations should be, as well as the level of detail that I should be giving artists, as well perhaps as choosing the right artist for the right job. That's something I think that is also a skill that needs to be learned.
I've engaged a good friend of mine, one of my players, in fact, who's a great artist, to do a portrait, and
lovely.
We're doing an art swap. I'm going to do some writing for her. She's going to do some art for me. And when she was asking me, like, what do you want me to do? I was like, well, I know what your art style is like, so I'm thinking these like couple of characters, because I think she'll absolutely kick ass with them. I've seen some draft sketches already, and she is indeed kicking ass. So
yeah, I think it's hard, especially if you like someone's art, but you also have a specific vision in your head of what something should look like. For example, like I gave Sage, for those who don't know, Sage is my son. I gave Sage's commission currently is to do portraits of the Pantheon of the 12. and I can exploit my child for art. I feel pretty okay with that. And I mean, I helped give him life. So, also I'm giving him money. But like the kind of conversations that you have about like, what does this look like to you? What does this feel like to you is different. Because for example, for the Pantheon, I don't have super specific images in my head for each of those gods. Whereas, for example, when we were talking about the our monsters, when we're talking about the trench eagle, at the end of it, we had quite a vivid, I think, picture inside our heads, and I think that is quite hard to. It can be is partly my deficiency there, but I think it can be quite hard to explain that to someone.
It's a skill like any other, and it's one of those things where you run in headlong into it and you go like, yeah, that looked fairly simple from the outside, but now I'm inside and doing it. Oh, okay. We'll just get better at it. We'll keep making myth takes, and when some of those myth takes are not working, we'll just find another way. We'll collaborate and do something.
Oh, exactly. We'll find another way. And this is another thing that I'm very passionate about, and I'm really interested in, is that sometimes we're not going to get it right, and we can think about this laterally, right? Like we get a product that we paid money for. It doesn't quite fit our vision, but it can fit into the world in some way. There's no reason to discard this, or there's no reason to go with half measures of going, oh, that's what it looks like now. Because as creatives, we have the leeway and the creativity of going, well, where can it go? We can go here. We can, And with monsters, I feel like that's quite easy to do, actually.
Yes, I agreed. And look, it's basically just being positive about it. Like somebody's giving you something creative, work with it. Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we've done it. I think it's actually, we should finish this episode because it's unedited. It's 34 minutes, which I feel like is too long. So I'm going to try and edit it down.
I think for sure. We've got at least probably 5 minutes worth of bullshit we can cut out, if nothing else. The internet interruptions. So
the internet has dropped quite a few times, although I'm very confident that it is recording on your end and it is recording on my end. But I think there probably will be some like weird silences in the recording.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll see how it all goes together. And I hope
Australian internet.
Yeah, I know. I hope to see you for a better quality recording soon.
Well, we've in real life, we're about ready to record our last episode of the season, our last major episode.
We're almost there, and yeah, look, I have some ideas for it. I'm sure you have some ideas for it, but we are going to need, I think, an environment where nothing drops out. So it's good. It's going to have to sure a morning recording, I think.
Yeah, maybe not a Saturday evening one, just because, I'm suspecting this is everybody's using the internet problem.
This is, everyone's putting their stuff in the tubes, and it's all getting clogged up, the intertubes.
When is I know we're still recording, but when is the school holidays?
2 weeks.
2 weeks away?
In Victoria, yes.
Yeah, well, that I'm not the one that's going to school or teaching, so that's the only one that really matters.
In Victoria.
So, we could do a weekday.
We could do a weekday. Yeah, let's do a weekday. That's actually a brilliant idea, because I should have my studio set up by the end of the first week. So let's aim for the second week. I'll get back to you. Oh, you died.
Oh, God.
Brilliant. Well, having said that, Aaron has disappeared from the mortal realm. He has, in fact, phased away. So I'm just going to say thank you for listening once again, dear listeners, beautiful, sexy listeners. Please check out our mainline episodes and our wonderful bonus episodes that we go out of our way to make for you. Please like and subscribe on whichever service you use. On YouTube as well, we have a YouTube channel that you can have a look at, which contains these uncut, raw and delicious videos. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.